Welcome to BTT World News. I'm Panita.
And I'm Zahal. Today we'll go through the latest news updates.
Here are the international news headlines. Kim Jong, UN announces plans to exponentially increase North Korea's nuclear arsenal. Trump surges ahead of Harris in latest poll. Typhoon Yagi devastates northern Vietnam, killing 64 and causing widespread flooding. Red Bull heir yoovidhyas case highlights Thailand's justice system issues. UN urges peacekeepers for Sudan amid reports of severe abuses. NATO nations seek authority to defend against Russian drone intrusions. Pope Francis visits remote Papua New Guinea to focus on marginalized communities. Israel strike on Gaza tent camp kills at least 40, described as heinous.
And for this week's national news headlines, the federal government has proposed a social media ban for people under 16 years old. New South Wales nurses are on strike for a pay rise despite an IRC order. Farmers protest the live sheep export ban amid an economic strain. And the government has been criticised for blaming the Reserve Bank amid a housing crisis.
You've probably heard that lawyer fees can really add up, right? Imagine how much money you could save if you handled most of your legal case yourself. With BTT Lawyers now you can. At BTT Lawyers, we understand that family law cases can be really complicated and expensive. That's why we give you complete control over your case and your expenses. Believe it or not, you can handle 70% of your case yourself. With the help of our legal advisors, clear plans and cutting-edge technology, you can manage the key parts of your case on your own. From preparing documents to tracking your case progress, you'll be able to understand and control everything. We're always here to support you through our offices in Preston, Dandenong, Sydney and Canberra. Facing legal issues doesn't mean going broke or giving up on your case. With BTT Lawyers, you'll only pay a small fraction of the typical legal fees. Ready to take charge of your case? Contact us today. BTT Lawyers, with you, for your case.
North Korean leader Kim Jong, UN declared plans to significantly expand the nation's nuclear weapons stockpile, citing the need to bolster security against perceived threats from the US and its allies. The announcement came during a speech on the country's founding anniversary.
Former President Donald Trump has edged past Vice President Kamala Harris in a recent New York Times and Siena College poll, with Trump leading by 1 point. Polling expert Nate Silver gives Trump a 63.8% chance of winning the Electoral College. Silver notes that the poll reflects a shift in momentum, as Harris is viewed as too liberal by many voters.
Typhoon Yagi has wreaked havoc in northern Vietnam, causing at least 64 deaths and numerous injuries due to floods and landslides. The storm, one of the strongest in decades, struck with winds up to 149 km per hour, leaving many areas underwater and damaging infrastructure.
Vorayuth yoovidhyas, heir to the Red Bull fortune, has avoided justice for a fatal 2012 hit and run due to alleged corruption in Thailand. Despite evidence of drug use and high-speed driving, yoovidhyas has evaded prosecution and remains abroad.
UN experts have called for immediate peacekeeping intervention in Sudan and an expand arms embargo to address severe human rights abuses committed by the Sudanese army and the rapid support forces. Their report, based on interviews with survivors, details widespread rape, torture and attacks on civilians, suggesting these actions could amount to war crimes.
Romanian and Latvian officials report increasing breaches of their airspace by Russian drones. Both countries call for expanded authority to shoot down these drones. Analysts suspect Russia is testing NATO's resolve. NATO in turn remains hesitant to escalate, fearing a direct conflict with Russia.
Pope Francis travelled to Papua New Guinea's remote Vanuatu, emphasizing the Catholic Church's commitment to marginalized communities. During his Asia tour, He met with church leaders in Port Moresby, stressing aid to the most disadvantaged and calling for a ministry of compassion.
An Israeli airstrike on a tent camp in Heinous, Gaza, has killed at least 40 people and injured 60 on early Tuesday morning, according to Gaza's civil defense. The camp, housing displaced Palestinians, was hit among the ongoing conflict. Rescuers reported deep craters and widespread damage.
The Australian federal government plans to introduce legislation this year banning children under 16 from using social media. The specific age limit is still under review, with consultations considering a range between 14 and 16. This move follows similar proposals and concerns about the negative impacts of social media on youth.
Thousands of nurses in New South Wales have gone on strike, demanding a 15% pay increase, defying an Industrial Relations Commission order. The New South Wales government, facing potential hospital delays, argues that the raise would cost $6.5 billion. Premier Chris Minns cited budget constraints, while the Health Minister Ryan Park expressed disappointment over the strike's timing. The government has proposed a 10.5% increase instead over a 3-year period.
Farmers are mobilising to protest in Canberra against Labor's live sheep export ban, set to phase out exports by May 2028. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese remains firm on the ban, despite strong opposition from the farming sector. Farmers face severe financial strain with low lamb and mutton prices, backlogged abattoirs, and overstocked flocks, intensifying the economic impact on the business.
Opposition frontbencher Michael Sucker has accused the government of mismanaging the economy and unfairly blaming the Reserve Bank for high interest rates. Housing Minister Claire O'Neil has expressed concern over the housing crisis, but has also rejected claims that the RBA is out of touch. That concludes our episode for today.